game and what he did in the locker room after the game to rub it in just a little bit more.
And while we're talking about fandoms, my favorite player of all time, LeBron James, Decision 2.0. Like, we needed that in Northeast Ohio. But we don't know what it's about, but we'll break it down and see if we have any clues as to what is going on with King James's future. But yeah, it's a lot going on this Monday. It's been super busy, but it's going to be really exciting for you guys. We're going to break it all down for you and give you also a little behind-the-scenes look of Babcock. I was talking on a stream late last week. Babcock thought I was being silly about it, but no, I was applauding all the work that he does on several different shows at one time. You're actually going to get a look at what that is like. But yeah, Mark Sanchez.
Also, don't forget 2 UFC segments as well. We'll be talking Alex Pereira's big win on Saturday night at UFC 320, as well as he was unbelievable.
He was
even more impressive. Morab Dvalishvili. It's a tough name to pronounce. He also had a really, really impressive performance, and we'll show you what he did after his big win when he went out in Vegas on Saturday night.
That guy is his nickname is the Machine. He is a machine. And Steve, our producer, we were having a little debate last week about whether being angry helps fighters. It looked like Alex Pereira was angry in that fight. He said he was like 40% in his first fight against Ankalaev, and I'm inclined to believe him after dominating him.
But yeah, also,
I want to talk about UFC anymore.
So much stuff.
That's it.
No, I'm just saying, there was so much stuff that happened over the weekend. We want to know what you guys want to talk about.
We do.
So flood the chat.
Yeah, please chime in.
Any topics or anything? Or if you want to.
Yeah.
Talk about your Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees are in some trouble here. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the Yankees can still win this series. I do.
Wow.
I do. I give them a 20-25% chance still winning the series. Maybe a little more, 33%.
33%?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Yankees, they obviously, well, they've got to win the next 3 games or the season's over. But you win tomorrow, pressure shifts a little bit towards the Blue Jays because all you're saying to yourself is, we lose today, the series is tied, and then the pressure is on them big time.
Wow.
Nobody wants to lose being up 2-0. So the bats need to wake up, though. And for Aaron Judge, he's not a young player. He's the best player in the world, for my money. A single when the game's out of reach in the 6th or 7th inning, that ain't going to do it. Aaron Judge needs to impact this series in a meaningful way. It's not walking 2 walks or getting a base hit in the 8th. That ain't going to do it.
It's like they wake up right after like.
I know.
6, 7
right. Well, sure, because those are not high leverage situations. You know, do it. The thing you could say, this team, it's a powerful lineup. This team can score runs. I think they're kind of a bully team. They beat up on the weaker teams, and then they struggle against the better teams. The thing that you say about the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000s Yankees is they could hit home runs, but they didn't rely on home runs, and they were so clutch. You just knew that the guys would come. If Bernie was at the plate or Derek Jeter was at the plate, you knew they would come through. Yeah. I don't have that feeling with these Yankees players now. So
it's tough going against the best team in baseball.
Yeah. That's
right.
another thing, by the way.
Insane.
Let me tell you something.
As a diehard Blue Jays fan.
The Buffalo Bills. Where's Buffalo, Connor?
Buffalo, New York?
Yeah, it's New York. Okay.
It's across the Niagara River from Canada. And it's 45 minutes from Toronto without traffic. The Buffalo Bisons are the AAA affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays.
I did not think we'd be talking about the Buffalo Bisons today.
The AAA affiliate. So there are people in Buffalo, including me, over the past 5 years, who are Toronto Blue Jays fans.
Do you think that your football team should be rooting for a team that's in a different country?
Well, it's the 51st state now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. The same colors. The team is offensively gifted, just like the Bills. Very entertaining, superstars. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Gifted.
You know,
I could have done without him posing after that.
12-0 at one point the other night.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I could have done without him posing like he did with that.
Well, it was like Joey's bats in 2015. You know, like you hit a grand slam like that, you got to react somehow.
Right.
But no, it's a good team, and I actually think they could get it done. The pitching,
think they win a World Series?
The pitching might not be there, but I think they could do it. Yeah.
Hey, the rookie. His name is escaping me right now. From Game 2, he had explosive stuff, and he was pretty dominant. A guy who had like 12 innings pitched beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it was a good run for the Yankees.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, it's not over yet.
Got to win 3 in a row, right?
Three in a row, but
Yeah,
can be done.
it can be done.
Hey, the Yankees.
We got to get Schlittler.
We know what it's like to lose 4. Well, game 3.
We got to get Schlittler
game
back
4
in there.
rather.
Yeah.
Game 4. It's
yeah.
so funny when I sit back
Schlittler,
and
and then we Max Fried back on the mound.
work on sports with you guys. I always think about you guys because I follow all those games
Yeah,
and stuff.
I know.
Like I watched the Browns. I
Keith,
thought about
Keith
Lucas
Trolls
and
me.
his team. But yeah, I don't troll you, dude.
It was a bad day in New York sports yesterday.
Yeah, I don't troll you. I support you when I need to, and then you guys tend to mess with me when I lose. So.
Well, the Giants and Jets are in New Jersey. So if you want to talk
That-
geography and you
right,
want to
so you're
talk like
supposed to
New
be the
York
only real
teams or
team.
New Jersey teams, there's only
Yeah.
one New York football team, and it's the Bills.
You're supposed to be the only real team.
Yeah, we are. It's true.
Hey, Connor, were
Yeah.
you up all night
Mojo.
crying?
Yeah.
Your face looks puffy. What happened?
I was, Mojo. I was a little bit upset.
How'd you know that, Mojo?
We'll get to that in the Stefon Diggs segment. How about we?
The second you
how about we
walked
save
on
it
the
for-
screen,
how
I don't
about-
know why they picked today of all days to bring you in on this, because you look like you had a really, really bad night.
How about we save it for the show?
I'm not making fun of you. I'm concerned for you.
Yeah, I'm concerned for me too. How about we save it for the show? We don't need to talk about it any more than we need to. You know?
No, this is called teasing and building excitement.
Well, no,
now
I think
they're
you're.
all
This is important. This
You
is
know
what
what
we're
it is?
supposed to do
Okay.
in the live
I think
hour.
you're actually teasing is what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're teasing me, which I don't
I
appreciate.
wouldn't do that to you.
I've never teased you.
I like the Bills. I love Bills Mafia. It's not my team,
Here we
but
go.
they're top 2 favorite teams in the AFC. I like the way they throw each other through flaming tables. That's right up my alley. I put people through several. I've been through a couple myself. Why would I not like the Bills?
Well, I really appreciate that. You
we
wear
love
enough
the Bills.
Zubas to be a member of Bills Mafia.
All right, Steve, I'm going to get started here because otherwise I'm going to run into a problem.
Copy that. So we're going to start with Mark Sanchez.
Okay.
You have the police chief,
Yeah.
and we also have the attorneys.
The Giants Snaga lost in the back is great.
Oh, man. I'm going to burn that, Mojo.
Don't do it. Scataboo! I know
Love
you
him.
saw his block.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. Thank you.
What a beast, though, right? Big fumble, but we'll
Big fan of
we'll
that guy. Who cares?
No. Okay. Yep. Hang on one sec, Keith. Just adjusting the camera here. To Lucas, right? Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Good to go. So what are we thinking, Steve? Like 10, a little less? Not 8 minutes? Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it. Welcome to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. We're going to start with one of the crazier stories that you will ever hear involving former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez, a guy who might not have been a great player on the football field, but he was a big star. Well, he was stabbed over the weekend, a story that we broke at TMZ Sports. At first, people hear that 38-year-old Mark Sanchez is stabbed. Prayers for this guy. Everybody concerned about the former USC quarterback, as I almost break my neck. Everyone concerned about the health, the well-being of the 38-year-old quarterback. Only Lucas to then find out that Mark Sanchez is allegedly the aggressor in the entire story. Now, let's back up. I'm sure people have likely heard about some of this, but we'll take it here from top to bottom. Mark Sanchez is an employee of Fox Sports. He was in town in Indianapolis, excuse me. Are you okay, Keith? Yeah. Mark Sanchez was in town in Indianapolis to call the Colts vs. Raiders game that was being played on Sunday. Now, Mark, after everything happened, he ultimately never called the game, but that's why he was in Indy. It's about 12:30 Friday night into Saturday morning. Mark is outside of a hotel. Now, we're going to give you what the police narrative here is and what the alleged victim says happened. We have not yet heard from Mark Sanchez. His lawyers nor Mark have said anything. So we've just got what the police and what, again, the victim are saying here. We haven't heard Mark's side of the story. But the way the story goes, Mark is outside of this hotel. There is a 69-year-old truck driver that is trying to make a delivery, something with oil inside of the hotel, oil that you would use in a kitchen. Mark Sanchez, for some reason, allegedly goes up to this guy, the truck driver, confronts him, in his truck because Mark says, hey, you cannot be parked here. Right, Lucas, he says, you cannot be parked here. Now, the guy says, hey, I'm here for work. This is where I'm supposed to be parked. They have some sort of verbal altercation. The guy feels that Mark is being very aggressive, and he is scared for his safety. So the victim, the 69-year-old, he pepper sprays Mark Sanchez. The guy says, though, that the pepper spray does not have the intended effect, and that at that point that Mark becomes ultra aggressive, allegedly here. Somehow, some way, they are involved in a struggle, in a physical altercation at that point. They're outside of the truck, and they are on the ground. This guy must have had a knife on him, the 69-year-old, for protection, because at some point, Mark Sanchez is stabbed a number of different times in his upper torso here. During the struggle, and it's unclear if it was the knife or if it was something else, the truck driver sustained some pretty bad injuries, and Lucas will have some more about that in a minute here. But the truck driver got a deep gash in his face, a gash so big, Lucas, that they said later on that it literally went through his cheek and it got his tongue.
Punctured his tongue.
Just think about that, to go through as thick as a cheek actually is. Imagine that. So the police respond, the emergency paramedics respond to the scene, and as you see some of the video here, the 69-year-old is taken away on a stretcher, and the same thing for Mark Sanchez. We then break the story less than 12 hours later that this incident happened, only to then find out that, again, they believe that Mark Sanchez is the aggressor here. A few hours later, Mark Sanchez, Lucas, is arrested as he lay in his hospital bed. Now, he didn't get hauled off to jail because he is still trying to recover from his injuries. So he's in the hospital bed, and he is initially hit what was 3 misdemeanors: battery, public intoxication, and unlawfully entering a vehicle. So 3 misdemeanors, not that it's not serious, but these are misdemeanors. And then, Lucas, things changed a little bit this morning.
Yeah, we found out early this morning that there was going to be an update at a press conference, and the prosecutor and police chief both took the podium and said, but wait, there's more, and this is not good for Mark Sanchez. In fact, the prosecutor said they added a charge, and this is now a felony battery involving serious bodily injury on top of the 3 misdemeanors. And now that felony comes with, it carries a penalty of 1 to 6 years in prison. So this is a very serious situation for Mark. We already knew that, but now those consequences could possibly be.
Right. When you're thinking of misdemeanors, you're probably looking at something, if you even serve any time at all, probably a year maximum in most jurisdictions. But like Lucas just said, I mean, now you're potentially talking about a lengthy prison sentence here. I mean, and look, we're a long way from that. Obviously, we have not even spent a single minute in court. But the bottom line is this felony charge can carry up to 6 years in prison. I think one thing, Lucas, and tell me if you disagree with me here, it struck me that there was the prosecutor, the DA, and the police chief, and they seemed like they were like no nonsense. They were not happy that Mark Sanchez, this wealthy, famous football player turned media personality, seemingly came into town and allegedly acted in a violent way. And I think they made that very clear at the presser today.
But I want to be clear about this. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care where you live. If you come into our city, commit violence, we will use all the tools at our disposal to hold you accountable. We've seen over the last several years the number of cases that have to be screened from the prosecutor's office and look through the lens of self-defense, I think, go up. And that's because a lot more people are armed and protecting, which is the right that they have. But when conflicts, which I've said repeatedly, continue to drive violence in our community, simple conflicts over things like parking spots, and the list goes on and on that we've seen over the last several years of these tragic cases that turn violent because someone has a weapon of any sort. But we're lucky that no one's dead right now as a result of this incident that involved a knife.
And Babcock, we know Mark Sanchez is facing a lot criminally, but now also civilly too, because naturally both sides have lawyered up. I spoke with the victims' attorneys earlier on Monday about what their plans are moving forward, and they said, filing a lawsuit against Mark Sanchez and anyone liable for what happened Saturday morning is definitely on the table. And then as we learned, that was the case. But here's what they had to tell me earlier on Monday.
We're happy and very pleased with how the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, IMPD, have handled this. I mean, it's remarkable how thorough their investigation has been and how responsive they've been to Perry, and we appreciate that. And obviously, that's one track to this. The other track is on the civil side, and we will be pursuing a claim on behalf of Perry against Mr. Sanchez and anyone else who might be liable for the harm and injuries that he suffered.
So there it is, Lucas. And I think at the time we didn't realize when he said anybody else who might be liable for this behavior, that meant that they were also going to be suing Fox Corporation. Now, like we said at the beginning of the segment, Sanchez was in town to work for Fox Sports and call the NFL game. Because of that, and we'll see if it ultimately holds up, but they are attempting to hold Fox Corporation responsible for Sanchez's behavior as well. So and this is the lawsuit right here. It was filed at 2:31 local time in Marion County, Indiana. And Mark Sanchez and Fox Corp listed as defendants. They do not say what they are looking for, so there's no monetary amount listed. I can imagine it's going to likely be a lot of money. So this is something that is going to play out in the courts here, not just the criminal court, but also the civil court as well. Again, bottom line, I cannot remember any story like this in the past where you've got this former NFL star who is in the hospital, stabbed. You worry about, he was literally in critical condition, fighting for his life, and then to find out that he actually might have been the one that was the aggressor. It's truly one of the crazier stories I think that we've covered here at TMZ Sports. It's a long way from over, something we will continue to follow. Stay tuned.
A lot of social reaction.
Really?
This one.
I'm curious about this one.
You could probably imagine.
Yes.
One of the top comments on our website from Buff New York Fan 1. Shout out.
I was like, you would pick that one.
Shout out. It was a very good comment, though.
What did they say?
They say, Sanchez has now just ended his career with Fox in the NFL. There's no way he'll be able to return after this. And the man that attacked him will go to court with him, too. So much of his wealth will be eaten up in legal fees and the settlement itself. I hope he has a very understanding wife. If she files for divorce, that's more money he'll be losing. Doesn't pay to get drunk and agitated.
I'll say what, I think, who was it? Was it the lawyers? No, the police chief. This was totally unnecessary, seemingly, right? And it's like, we don't know what happened, so I don't want to pretend like I know everything that happened, but you really do get the feeling that alcohol was likely involved here.
That is one of the misdemeanor charges, public intoxication.
Right. Not the truck driver on Mark's part. And
in the probable cause affidavit, the driver claims that Mark Sanchez reeked of alcohol. He also has that listed in his lawsuit as well. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is a lot of people were talking about Mark Sanchez and his character, after we posted the story that he was stabbed. A lot of people rushed to judgment or figure out, what the details were of the situation or, share their thoughts on it. This incident does not mean that Mark Sanchez was ever a bad guy prior to this moment.
Yeah.
Both can be true. Now, this is an absolutely horrible incident and situation, but, for all we know, Mark Sanchez could have been an angel prior to
it's irresponsible, man.
What allegedly happened Saturday morning.
Beating up a 69-year-old, man, elderly. That's, to me, it's just irresponsible. You're a representative of Fox.
Look, and he's going, and if it happened, I think, Keith, the way that they say it happened, he's in some trouble here. He really is.
Shout out to Kevin Murray in the chat.
You got to be more responsible.
He has a question. I can see the lawsuit against Mark Sanchez, but why sue Fox?
Well, I'll lay that out specifically.
Yeah, read here. I have it here, Lucas, if you want to.
Okay, yeah. They say Fox should have known that Sanchez has a propensity for drinking and or harmful conduct. Yeah. So essentially they're saying you employed this guy, you're sending him around the country, and you should have known that he's capable of doing it. I think
the reality is that often when you file a lawsuit, Mark Sanchez has a lot of money, but he doesn't have a Fox Corp kind of money, so I think you want to try and involve them if you're the lawyer for the plaintiff here. Does it hold up? Because Fox is going to say, hey, he wasn't working for us at that moment. Sure, he's on a business trip, but he's not working for us. him drinking in some bar had nothing to do with Fox Sports or NFL games.
Yeah, has Fox ever?
Yeah,
come
so
out
they'll
and say
try and
anything?
get out of it, and maybe they'll be successful.
Apparently, we called Mark Sanchez a football great in one of our posts.
I hope not.
And Amelia W. 1283 says, y'all are using the term football great very loosely here for someone whose most memorable play was a butt fumble.
Well, you can say college football
right.
great.
Maybe
I mean,
people forget.
You can't discredit what he did at USC.
Hey, Julia.
I mean, it's not like he was winning championships and winning Heisman.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I mean, he
I
was
do
good at
understand the
SC,
frustration,
But he wasn't.
I mean, those,
To be fair, I
those 2010, early 2010 Jets teams,
yeah,
he led them
everything
to
is
2
fine.
straight
We're
AFC
just-
championships.
we're filming something here so they
it's
may
not
hear our
like
conversation,
He was one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game, but he's still
figured it was fine.
at one
Good
point
quarterback.
a very good quarterback, without question. Definitely not a football great, though, I'd say.
Yeah.
A little
You can see
inside
Babcock.
baseball or inside newsroom. Babcock's about to do a live shot with Washington, D.C., talking about Mark Sanchez. Keith, you want to try to get in and eavesdrop on the conversation?
Did you try to get a little bit closer to Babcock's live shot?
Tell them the good stuff, Babcock.
So finally wearing some fall clothes, second half of the week. There's a look at your rainfall now. Anything we get, especially to the west, is beneficial. Would be great to get an inch and a half like you're seeing in Winchester, Martinsburg, and Frederick. We certainly need it, as that's where we've got more of a moderate drought in some patches, and then farther off to the north and west, severe to extreme. We've quieted down in the wake of Umberto and Imelda last week as we look at the Atlantic.
I was wondering what the weather in DC is like.
Storm pretty quickly. This would be Jerry, and Jerry looks to form.
I always like watching because I like to see what the weather is like.
Much will happen there in the Gulf, just a tropical wave. But a reminder that we are still very much standby, and you can certainly get October storms. Historically, we've definitely had some big and strong ones. There is your 7-day look at Thursday. What a difference. I mean, Thursday's high temperature will be 20 degrees cooler than today and tomorrow. And then it looks nice and brisk Friday, even into the weekend. Watching the weekend closely, we definitely could have a rain chance that might spoil some fun. But again, it is needed around here, so we'll be reviewing that as we get through the rest of the week. That's your 7-day, guys. Back over to you.
Kaylin, thank you. New video from the aftermath of the alleged Mark Sanchez stabbing. This as the former NFL quarterback now faces felony charges. TMZ following the story since it broke over the weekend. Michael Babcock joining us like, okay, Michael, this broke over the weekend. It's a big story all over the place. A couple days have passed. I still need you to help me understand what in the world has happened here.
Angie, I can't remember ever a story like this before. I mean, we actually broke it Saturday morning that Mark Sanchez was stabbed and was in the hospital with critical wounds. I mean, he was really badly hurt, Angie. And I think a lot of people were really concerned about Mark, and not that they're not anymore, but then only to find out hours later that police believe he was actually the aggressor, and then he's arrested. He's initially on Saturday, Angie, hit with 3 misdemeanor charges. Later on, today rather, this morning, as the police and the DA get together, they say, hey, look, because this other guy who was in the fight with Mark Sanchez, the guy who actually stabbed Sanchez, because he was hurt so badly, they had added on a felony charge. So now Mark Sanchez is facing up to 6 years in prison if he's ultimately convicted. What they said happened, Angie, was that Mark Sanchez outside of a hotel. This guy is a truck driver pulling up to do his job. He was delivering oil. Mark Sanchez says allegedly, hey, you can't park here, and is really aggressive with the guy. The guy says, I was worried for my safety, so I pepper sprayed Mark, but that didn't stop him. He says Mark Sanchez then basically opens the door, drags him out of the truck, and they begin fighting. And at that point, he said, I felt like, this is a big guy. I'm a small guy. I felt like my life was at risk. So he takes a knife out and, he ultimately stabs Mark. Now, the guy was badly hurt himself. He had a cut so bad, Angie, and there's photographs of this. Don't look if you're squeamish, though. He literally had a cut that went entirely through his cheek to his tongue. So, I mean, this was, again, a crazy situation.
Yeah. I mean, as you're talking, we're showing this video that you guys got exclusively, and you see a guy on a stretcher ducking under crime tape. His head is
Yeah, that was the 69-year-old man, yeah.
Yeah. And, okay, well, and we still haven't heard from Sanchez's camp, right?
Not at all.
We're still waiting to find out, I mean, what in the world? Why? It's not like it was his parking spot, but we don't know all those details just yet. And, what led up to it, I mean, violence should never be an answer, but still a big head scratcher on this one. And again, we know that both of them are still, they're okay.
Yeah, they're both okay. The 69-year-old has been released from the hospital. By the way, they filed a lawsuit too this morning, Angie. So Sanchez is being sued now as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, a lot more to follow up on this one, but thanks for a little bit of clarity. Thank you, Michael.
Bye, Angie.
Bye. And you can, of course, catch more TMZ right here after Like It or Not tonight.
Big changes are coming.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Juliet. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
Okay, bye.
Named to lead CBS News.
From
Man,
How's that?
the master at work.
There we go. So there's a delay, so obviously that's why I'm still talking there.
This is
How many?
Angie,
How many of those do you do a day?
About 50.
maybe 5, 6. It depends.
Damn, really?
Yeah, not with DC. I always do DC at 1:45 our time. Yeah, so I always do DC every day, and then the other ones are different. I don't think I have one that I do every day besides DC. I do we do New York once a week, Denver twice a week, Detroit twice a week.
You got friends all over the globe.
I really do feel like
the country, but.
That's just the man that's in high demand.
Yeah,
folks.
right,
That's
Mojo.
all that is.
Well, it's
right
funny because
there.
I sit right here, so I know his schedule too. So like, if he's running late, I'm like, oh no, what are the Ozarks gonna do?
Mojo, the chat is asking if that's a real 24/7 belt behind you.
It
course.
is. Of course. Yeah, of course
Mojo's
it's
a
the real
20
one.
Mojo's
So
a
after
24/7
I won
champ.
this, I liked the party back in the day, and we celebrated extensively for a long time. They told me to never bring that belt back to work.
So John S., that is a real 24/7 belt. You heard it here first.
There it is.
Boom.
These nerds are good.
Didn't
no
a
free ads.
future Pro Football Hall of Famer take that belt from you? And did you take it back? You got it back, right? You beat him.
No,
after
we
he beat
gave
you?
him the crappy one.
Who, Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob's a former 24/7 champ.
It's so weird that you call him Rob.
It's weird.
Roberto.
Roberto.
You can't.
We're related.
It's hard to call him Gronk when you know his brothers, because they all are too.
They're all Gronk. Rob. My best friend through Mojo.
Ronald.
All right, so that's the little thrilling live shot.
Mark Sanchez is a big story, though, man. Everybody.
It's live, so you gotta make sure you don't mess up. Yeah, that Mark
Yeah,
Sanchez.
that turn came. Nobody saw it coming. Can you imagine being the 69-year-old guy and you're like,
right?
That Mark Sanchez trying to attack me
Right,
right
I
now?
know.
Like,
What is
the
going
hell?
on? You're not kidding.
Spotting a celebrity is one thing, but one literally coming after you
Right,
picking
to
a fight
allegedly
is
attack
totally-
you. Jeez, I know.
What the hell?
All right, the guy's near 70 years old.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
No, I know.
My pops is 70, and it's just like, yo, he can't even hurt a fly, man.
I
I was like,
Dude, that dude was probably terrified.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that's why.
Mark Sanchez, what, 38 years old?
38 years old, yeah.
Come
And Mark's
on,
still in
man.
good shape, so.
Of course
Yeah.
that's why. That's why you, I mean, shoot, I'd probably grab a weapon too.
Yeah, I think I would.
How do you not? Luckily he had one. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't have one?
Really?
Oh. Kevin, you like Angie? I'm putting a good word for you.
What you eating,
She's
Babcock?
married, though.
He's eating nerd gummy clusters.
She's married. She's got like
Oh, the chat's talking
she's
about
got like a
me?
football team worth of kids.
Okay.
She's got a big family. Not a football, a basketball team. Not football team.
5 starters.
Should we go on to
Yeah.
the best segment of the show?
Let's do Stefon Diggs, Mojo, because Connor's been dying to do this one.
Oh, yeah.
I also would like to talk about Stefon
Oh,
Diggs.
he's a turd.
Oh, you love him too, yeah. Everyone happy.
Connor should intro the segment.
You want to intro the segment?
No, you can go ahead.
I thought about you, Connor.
I thought about me too.
Connor, were you sick last night? Your color looks a little off.
Yeah.
I don't feel great for a variety of reasons today.
Well, you got
What's on your shirt?
Mostly emotionally. This is a Keith Haring shirt, Mojo. If you ever read a book, you would know that this is a very famous artist. So I'm actually.
What are we looking at in this photo, though?
Like football and like I don't know, it's art. Football
Is
and the
this work
Bills. It's not like my
appropriate?
only hobby. Like I like art. Like I like going on like long walks on
Did
the
you
beach.
wear that shirt to distract people from what happened yesterday? Was that the whole?
I meant to wear black because we lost to the Patriots because it's kind of a funeral for me.
That'll be tough.
Yeah, this is just the
okay?
first shirt I picked this
I'm
morning.
glad I bet money on 0 games this weekend because I would have lost so many.
Yeah, a lot of upsets actually. Survivor pools all across the country. I'm sure had a lot of difficulty.
30 minutes.
I had the Lions in mind, thankfully, but a lot of people picked
We're
the
gonna
Cardinals
try
over the
and
Titans. Saints beat the
start at
Giants.
1 every day.
I don't know
Freaking
who. I don't know who would
Ravens,
pick
man.
the
What is
Giants.
going
but-
on?
Because live has been finishing later.
Come on, bro.
Browns
We
put
know
up a
what
good
the
fight.
biggest upset's
Yeah.
about. We
At
know
least-
who
just
the
saying.
biggest upset.
At least
right?
the heartbreak was over very
What happens?
early in the day, so I could go about my life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
that's true.
He did a good.
You guys wanna
did a
talk
good
stuff
job.
on Diggs?
He did a great job. Come on.
I take
Do
it
this.
back. That was not heartbreak. That was just
That's a building block.
par for the course.
He
What
did
are
a
you
great
talking
job.
He played safe.
Oh, Dylan
Come
Gabriel?
on, Luke. Gabriel played well. Come
Yeah,
on.
he
You
played
gotta
well.
give him
He's
a
like-
heart.
As a rookie quarterback, you gotta, for the most part.
Yeah.
And where did it get us? Another
Yeah,
loss.
you almost won.
I think it's because you lost by 1 point, right?
All right, let's get
be
this
mad at
over
that.
with.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, I think I would sign up for that as the first start.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do Stefon Diggs. Sorry about covering the microphone. Clearly didn't work.
Here we go.
One of our guys here was asking if I could do another live shot with San Francisco, but I was trying to tell him that we pushed back a half hour here today, so I couldn't. Okay, Stefon Diggs return. So we've got the return, Steve, and we've got locker room celebration. Steve, am I tossing the locker room first before we talk? All right, let's do this. Okay, hang on, time out. I'm sorry. I'm tossing to the sound of Stefon Diggs first. Okay, all right. No one answers me. All right. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. Stefon Diggs had a big night Sunday night. He returns to Buffalo, and he beats his former team, hands them their first loss of the year. And not just that, but he had a big game. Caught 10 passes for 146 yards. It was his second straight 100-plus yard game. So really nice season, 29 catches, 359 yards on the season for Stefon Diggs. I think it's fair to say, judging by the locker room celebration after the game, none of the other wins this year was as sweet as yesterday's game. Take a look.
Try to stick and take. Bing, bow, bow, bow. Bitch, that boy that holding me. Trolling on your acting like some me. Put this bitch up on that boat. Yeah, I've been chilled out, mad. I've been I've been showing my ass. Yeah, yeah.
So Connor's favorite song, shot calling by NBA Youngboy. They were lit, to say the least, in the locker room, and you can tell, obviously, it didn't end. Connor, by the way, is a massive, massive, massive Bills fan. It didn't end in the greatest of terms in Buffalo, right? I'm sure it was really sweet for him to come in and.
Well, he forced his way out, so I don't know why he's saying that this is personal. He made it about himself the final 2 years there. He was yelling at people on the sidelines. He is known throughout his career, he did it in Minnesota as well, as a diva, right? Like we talked about A.J. Brown last week. Stefon Diggs did the exact same thing.
He's been in a lot of places for a guy as talented as he is.
For sure. He uncurried favor in a place that was very good for him. He was a four-time Pro Bowler in Buffalo. I think maybe a first-team All-Pro, if not second-team All-Pro. He had an unbelievable situation with arguably the best quarterback in the league in Josh Allen, and he forced his way out of there for some godforsaken reason. So
you guys could use a guy like him, right?
Clearly last night, I have nothing against him as a player. I think he's an unbelievable receiver, especially when healthy. Yeah. And he had 4 amazing years in Buffalo. I just don't necessarily know why And he even said it last night. This was personal for me. I get playing there, and I get like whatever issue he had with the Bills and the Bills management, coaching, organization. Maybe it wasn't even Josh, because they did interact after the game last night.
He with the players. You saw him and a hug, handshake.
He said "love you." They said it back, and like I think personally it was with the coaching staff.
Right. That's what it
maybe
seems
even
like.
the management.
He says, Mojo, after the game, he described his emotions as nostalgic. And he said, it's been a long time. Obviously, I got a lot of love and respect for this team and fan base. I'm excited. I've waited all week for it. So clearly he was very excited. He was looking forward to this game. But I think, like Connor said, I'm not sure he's got beef with the players on the team. I think it's an organizational thing and perhaps some beef with the coaching staff as well.
Well, guys, he's a father now, or he's about to be, so he's got to go out there and show out for his kid. That's on the way. Shout out to my Maryland Terrapin buddy, Stefon Diggs, right there. I mean, hey, regardless of how this situation went down publicly, he was there. Nobody knows what was going on behind closed doors. Odds are it wasn't with your teammates. Those are your brothers that you're going out there with. They're not the ones you're negotiating contracts with and arguing about playing time and positioning and leadership and roster moves and all of these other things. Eventually, you're going to have some issues with any team that you're associated with, whether that leaks out to the public or not. You never know. Obviously, Stefon Diggs usually has a lot to say, so he vocalizes these things. But even if he would have left on great terms with the Bills, this is still you going back to a team that you used to play for and showing your value to them on the other side of the ball, Like, it's just an opportunity for you to show out. Like, this is something that you make really personal regardless of the situation, and he absolutely did. Maybe it was a perfect storm of life events for this guy, but man, he dominated that game. I mean, he won for the Patriots. It's that simple.
Yeah, he did. By the way, speaking of Josh Allen and how potent of a duo they could be, I mean, Drake May looks like a really good football player, and I think that's a pretty potent duo potentially, as the Patriots are hoping that they have retooled and will now compete for, I don't think this year, obviously, but going forward. You got any concern about?
Yeah, absolutely. The defense is good. They've got a good head coach now in Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much competition in the division recently. No. And that game last night, the Bills could have taken a 3-game lead, and now it's only a 1-game lead, and they play another game in December. So, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely concerned. I think they looked really good last night. Drake May is as close to an NFL comp of Josh Allen as any quarterback in the league, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
So to have that in the same division, obviously a younger guy and an up-and-coming roster, yeah, I'm definitely a little bit concerned. But I think the Bills will probably win the AFC East by early December.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
And the Jets are so bad.
I will say.
No, I think the Jets got a shot.
Yeah. The Bills are Super Bowl contenders, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
The betting favorite still, even after last night.
I don't know. And to quote the great Floyd Mayweather, an elephant doesn't concern himself with the opinion of an ant.
Right.
Whatever he said about the lead up to the Conor McGregor fight. Yeah. Why do you care what Stefon Diggs does? Well, why you got worked up about that? I would be like, who cares?
Well, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but there is like a personal nature to it.
We did what we had to do, and we are onward and upward. We are focused on a Super Bowl. Let him have his moment. Let him have his.
But now that he's in the division, it directly affects us. I mean, especially last night, right? Like, if you can't cover him, and he's going to do what he does, and he's going to add that personal nature to it, it's going to make it that much worse. If he was still on the Texans, if he was on a different team, different conference, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But now that he's in our division, and he's playing with the second best quarterback in the division, it does make it that much closer.
Yeah, but
you know
like
what I mean?
You said, you can't really hold any animosity.
No, I wouldn't say animosity. I just thought it was strange. He was talking about how personal it was, and he did it because like he was mistreated or whatever. And I don't think that was the case. I really do believe he had an issue with management. He had an issue with the coaching staff, and he forced his way out. Like, it was his decision to leave ultimately. And they traded him. So, I don't know. It is what it is. Quick shout out to someone in the comments of one of our website posts. The video of Stefon in the locker room. It's got, NFL locker rooms, a lot of people in the background.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it for the first time. But Lynn's 1220 commented, someone was naked back there.
Oh, really?
On our site?
Very briefly. We blurred it in our soundbite.
Is it on the
But like it's a social media video. Like so.
You blurred it in the soundbite?
We blurred it, thankfully.
Way to alert
That's
me.
old Visante Shenko.
Shenko!
That's, yep.
It's in our player count.
It's very brief.
It's in the.
Okay. All right, we'll just.
You gotta be careful in them locker rooms, man. You can't be naked in the locker room anymore
I just
these
covered
days.
this for the show. I blurred it, but either way, yeah. Do that.
Wow.
Do that for the website.
You know, Christian McCaffrey is 6th in the league in receiving yards.
Really?
And 3rd in receptions. That's pretty remarkable.
Beast.
As a running back?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's really good. I've got him in our work league. He's
Do
unbelievable.
you?
I have him and Puka on the same team.
Dude, that's you.
I released Diggs last week.
You released Diggs?
Yeah. But let me tell you something.
Why did you do
with that team, I have Puka. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown. I have Quentin Johnston.
6 touchdowns already?
I have. Did you hear me? I have Quentin Johnston.
Really?
Who didn't have a great game yesterday, but I also have Rome Odunze and Jalen Waddle.
Can I ask you a
So
question?
I don't need him.
How did Rashawn, because I'm not playing fantasy this year, but how did Rashawn Stevenson do, the running back?
He had
'Cause
two
he had a
touchdowns last
fumble
night.
and he had
Ramondre?
He had 2 touchdowns last night.
He had 2 touchdowns?
Mhm.
How many points did he get?
That's probably at least 15, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And on some
I
yards.
kicked Lucas's ass last
Dude,
night.
that team doesn't count. That team doesn't count.
Why not?
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Why doesn't it?
Because I'm the commish. So whenever I win the league, people say it's rigged. So I have to be bad on purpose. So then people just lay off.
You're the commish every year?
Yeah.
He's the commish, yeah.
I'm the commish. And
Mojo,
man,
Lucas kicked me out the league.
I didn't kick you out. You were never in it.
Damn, Keith. What?
You kicked Keith
Why,
out?
Lucas?
I was
You
in
kicked Keith
1
out?
year.
You were
1
in it?
year.
You were in, and he kicked you out, Keith?
Kicked me out.
That must have been Reagan's doing.
Is that why Lucas wears his glasses only on Monday? Because he's a commissioner
He's a
and he's trying to
commish, yeah.
flex?
I'll tell you what happened. I was
Lucas.
about to put my contacts in, and Smokey, my cat, put his paw right into my contacts, and that's the
Did
one
he?
thing with my allergies that I. Well, not only is it unsanitary to begin with, because
We
who
love
knows
smoke.
where those paws
It's just
have
your
been.
eyes, man.
Yeah, you don't need those.
The one
You got
thing
2?
that I get, even with my allergy medication, is itchy, irritated eyes. But yeah, so it's glasses today. I look studious.
Glasses day.
They're nice. Prada.
Okay, Steve, so we're going to do a little
Thanks, insurance.
audible here. So no Alex Pereira.
Correct. We're going to do Morab. We're going to
Okay.
in-bump with him.
Okay.
The Bantamweight champ, he's on the stage at XS Nightclub in Vegas after the win.
Close.
Okay, so he fights a 5-round fight,
Yeah.
25 minutes, and we'll show the monster thing.
It was like I needed to do it.
Rachel? Tom?
Lucas?
Is your mic down?
No,
mic
it's okay. I should have said it before. Okay, 25 minutes, Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, you can sit there. Morab.
Are you a Baltimore Ravens fan?
So, Steve, what I'll probably do is you'll come in, I'll say that was the champion, Morab Dvalishvili, who somehow, after fighting 25 minutes, dominating Corey Sandhagen, was on the stage of XS Nightclub just, going crazy. I think I know why. It was the monster energy.
Exactly.
And then you show that photo.
Perfect.
And
Careful about the crazy and the monster association.
why is that?
I don't know. Do we want to imply that?
He's just dancing on stage. He's just dancing on stage.
Okay, all right. High energy is a better,
Okay.
more comfortable space for me.
Okay. So Babcock,
Yeah. What happened?
you're gonna kick to Lucas.
What?
No.
No.
Just me, I think, probably.
Yeah.
And yeah, just me.
That'd be lovely.
I'm just going to do this.
Babs, do you want to use Mojo since he's a spokesperson? It might help him.
No. Can't.
Oh.
It's good. Just me. Yeah.
You know who else is that kind of guy? Charles Latiboudier. I'm constantly worried we're going to catch that on camera.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep, let's do it, Steve. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. I don't know where this guy gets the energy. Morab Dvalishvili, that was after 5 rounds of a UFC championship fight where he absolutely dominated Corey Sandhagen. I mean, this was from the opening bell to the bell at the 5th round, just pure domination. Yet somehow, some way, Morab at XS Nightclub later on that night in Vegas, just absolutely going ham, having the best time ever. Now, I think I've got an idea of what gave him the energy to go out there and have a blast. I think it's that monster in his hand right there. Monster, not the, or Morab, not the only one fueled by Monster, however, over the weekend, because, like Morab, on Saturday night, the TMZ After Dark tour was an absolute blast. I mean, this thing is awesome. If you like sort of like a party on wheels and going out to some of the most iconic spots in all of Hollywood, this is the tour for you. This week, we not only had B2K's Raz B hosting the bus, on the bus, hanging out with all of the fans, he actually performed. So you get a performance right there. It was awesome. We mentioned the iconic spots in Hollywood, one of them being the Saddle Ranch. You go get some drinks. Some people even got to ride the famed mechanical bull. This, again, all fueled by Monster, TMZ After Dark tour, and Morab Dvalishvili, Monster. Is that?
Yeah, it was good. If just at the end, if you don't mind saying, all fueled by Monster Energy as a pickup, that'd be great.
All fueled by Monster Energy. Do I need to say in the beginning? Because.
All fueled by Monster.
Okay, Steve, I'm just going to give a line, all fueled by Monster Energy. All fueled by Monster Energy. All fueled by Monster Energy. Is that kind of what we're thinking?
No, it's as usual.
Is that right?
Tom,
Yeah.
did you listen? I think that was great.
I think that was great. I'm sorry. Yeah, 100%.
That good?
Yeah.
Everyone satisfied?
We love the segue.
Perfect? Okay, good.
Good, like 40
Okay, Steve, that Tom and Rachel say good?
And I assume he has like stuff that he'll cut into it.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, those videos and stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Cool, thank
Speaking
you.
of Morab, we put a poll up on the website. Who will Morab Dvalishvili fight next? The options
That's the
were
question.
Peter Yan, who
Okay.
we called out after
He
the fight,
did, yeah,
right?
it seems like
And
that's what he wants.
He wants to fight for the 4th time this year. Alex
Crazy.
Pantoja,
Okay.
who is the flyweight,
Yep.
one division under him.
125 champ, and he is dominant too, kind of like Morab.
Umar Nurmagomedov,
Rematch.
who he beat earlier this year.
It was a relatively competitive fight. I think Umar's gas tank just ran out, so I like that.
And then I put other as the other option, but I think another option people are talking about would be Volkanovski. But 50% of people say it'll be Peter Yan.
Right. Yeah, it's like, I guess with Volk, Morab would have to go up. Does he want to do that? I don't know. Didn't really seem like he cares about the champ status. It seems like guys now, as soon as you become champion, you want to go and either go up or go down and become champion in another division. But I think he's already the greatest bantamweight ever. He's just dominant. And I mean, these guys are obviously all great athletes. He just does not get tired. And you see the other guys, and it's not like they're not working on their cardio. They all fade, and he never fades.
He's a machine. That's
He
what
really
they call
is.
him. He's
I know.
the machine.
It's the most like fitting nickname I think in the entire sport because he just is. He's not a human being. He does not get tired.
What's the mega fight coming up for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the UFC is in an interesting spot now because I think, Conor McGregor, which is he going to fight again? Probably at some point, I would think. But what does he have? 1, 2 fights left, maybe? John Jones, 1, 2 fights left, maybe? Who is the next crop of stars? I think is a fair question to ask for the UFC, and they've got some guys, but I think just the natural transition of the sport, that's kind of the Conor era is over.
Well, if you're talking best pound for pound at the moment, I think the best fight to make at the moment is probably Topuria and Makhachev, right?
Yeah, I think, and for from a purist standpoint, that's a great fight. Are those guys incredibly famous? No. But it's a great fight.
That you deal with the same thing in boxing too. Like the best fighter doesn't necessarily mean the biggest superstar.
For sure.
Like Terrence Crawford, he's a quiet, humble guy that doesn't translate well to fans and attracting massive headlines.
But the problem is with Terrence Crawford is he doesn't. That's what we talked about this before. He doesn't promote. If he did, he would be massive.
But he's just not the type to talk
everybody else.
Shit and all that, Forget my language.
I mean, Topuria is not a Conor McGregor, but he's he's still a good personality.
No, and I think he is. You're right.
He's a scary guy.
Yeah.
He's got a crazy background.
I think he's got a good look to him. Yeah. He I think is a.
Yeah, I think he could
I would bet on him to be one of the next big stars, and I think he is really. I don't think he is obviously really talented. If he's able to stay on top, I think he is one of the guys that could become a big. I remember we asked Dana White. I mean, I don't know how many years ago that was, Steve, when we asked Dana White. Dana, who's the next? When Conor was at top at the time, who was the next big star? And he said Francis Ngannou, and it was Francis Ngannou. Francis was the guy for a period of time. So,
hear me out.
What?
And I know they don't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
All that often. You know what Jake Paul did for Team USA Boxing?
What's that?
He joined their camp. And hosted classes and training sessions on how to build their brand to become more popular. In all honesty, Dana White should call Jake Paul and do the same thing with UFC. There are some extremely talented.
Not gonna happen.
I prefaced it by saying they don't see eye to eye.
Well, I'll tell you what.
You can call. Great idea. Call somebody else to do it though.
Yeah, Dana likes money, and
I didn't say it would happen, but it would behoove him.
Why do you think Dana's been spending all this time with the WWE? That's what that whole partnership is about, right?
Well, they're all owned by the same company now. I think
all under one roof.
Yeah, I think the guys are there. They've got to win too, and you've got to be able to fight and win. I think the thing with MMA is that it's just a lot easier to lose. You're not having guys that are 50-0 in MMA because it's just, again, it's too easy to lose, too easy to get submitted. So I think that's the problem too.
Whatever happened
Guys,
to
I know
Jake Paul
the
and PFL?
future of the UFC is extremely interesting and all, but I'm just a little disappointed we skipped past Morab's dance moves as fast as we did because
what did you think
there's
of
a lot
Mojo?
of ground to cover there.
What did you think? It was a very Mojo Mutati type dance, I thought.
I loved what I saw. I also loved that he didn't have dance moves, so he just started throwing punches and
he was just fighting. He was like shadow.
How great is that though? But if you're on a dance floor, I mean, technically that can also be a dance move. This is great. I just would have kept with the freaking roundhouse kicks. The crowd would have nuts.
The knees and everything. Oh, let me give a shout out. This is my friend Danny Rubenstein. He is one of the best managers, one of the top managers. Morab's his guy. Dricus Duplessis is his guy. He's got a lot of really talented UFC fighters. This was Danny's video. Danny and I grew up together in New Jersey.
Wow.
And we were we were the water boys as little kids for the football team when we were 8, 9 years old. We were little.
You were the water boy.
And then I went on the Star on that football team.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Mojo, quickly back to the chat.
Well, while we're shouting out people, I got to shout out my guy Jack Womack, who's the manager of the club. So
is that right?
Put those two managers together,
Jack.
we got a beautiful thing going on.
Jack
here.
and Danny under the same roof this weekend, I think.
Also, call Jack if you want to go party there, Babcock, because I know you don't like the party, but I still want to see it.
I don't have anyone to
You should have
shout
seen
out.
me years ago, Mojo.
I'll just put that right there.
You don't have anyone?
No one to shout out.
Shout out to Ed Widman.
Shout out to Smokey.
Yeah, shout out Smokey.
Shout out to Smokey. Shout out to Ed Whitman.
We had such a nice weekend.
What'd you do?
Is
he still laying on you?
We didn't do
Is he
much.
laying on your
Yeah,
chest?
he's still laying on me. Yeah.
I think he's going to stop doing that as he gets older, though.
I had to trim his claws, which was a
Why
battle.
are you trimming his? Why are you cutting his nails so much?
They
Ed
grow.
Whitman?
A lot.
And like if he's going around on the hardwood floors and it's like sound like tap shoes,
Yeah,
then
I think you're cutting.
But yeah, he didn't really get in too much trouble. I think he's
That's good. Is he
learning
staying
and
away from the
adapting
plant?
with his environment. And
Is he cooling it with the plants or
I
no?
think he's cooling it a little bit. I got an automatic feeder, which I think is helping him out a bit too.
Okay.
So he's not being fed
No
the dry
spray
food
bottle,
all at
though.
once. No spray bottle.
That's good.
He's he's climbing into the plants and he's trying to eat them.
Not just that, but not so much eat them anymore, but just kind of set up shop. He likes to just lay down in them, and then I have to pick him up and wipe them off and everything. It's annoying, but what's really sad is I'm going to be in Ohio over the weekend, and I'm already.
Oh, you missing him?
I already missed him.
You didn't give any consideration of bringing him, right? That's too.
To Ohio?
Yeah.
No. No. Long story short.
You should give. You got to give. Smokey some lettuce.
Lettuce?
Because I think he. Yeah.
Just like iceberg or romaine?
Yeah.
Spinach?
Cats eat
arugula?
lettuce?
With kale.
Kale?
Kale's my favorite leaf.
Oh, wow.
Look.
Mojo, do you hear me?
I do now.
There are some wrestling historians in the chat.
It's not me because I got
John
no
says
tattoos on my
Ron
head.
Killings
but-
won the belt the most, the 24/7
Everybody
belt.
like catnip belt.
Mojo also won the Andre the
crazy.
Giant
likes
Battle
plants,
Royale,
so-
if I'm not mistaken.
We got to give plants.
Is that true? You won the Andre.
Actually, Connor, I didn't hear a word you said. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Do you
No
hear
one
me now?
listens. No one listens to Connor.
Mojo, you hear me?
That's
Do you hear me
that's
now? or
me,
no?
guys. This is his big
I
day.
think he can hear you.
It's-
Mojo, can you not hear Connor?
I can now.
Okay. So there are some wrestling historians in the chat.
Did it.
John S. says Ron Killings won the 24/7 belt the most. Mojo also won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale, if I'm not mistaken.
That is true, right?
This is all true. Truth has won the 24/7 title about 4,005 times. I won the Andre, and actually, I really want a trophy like that for the house. It would probably from the floor come up to like here. That thing is massive.
What's your favorite match ever, Mojo? And if you guys have wrestling questions, ask Mojo.
Yeah,
this
please.
Stuff. Anything. Well, I guess you should
my
say
favorite
that.
match?
Yeah, what's your favorite match?
Shoot,
Most
man, I
memorable.
don't know. I mean, honestly, my favorite matches are probably the ones that were non-televised because that was the time that we could go out there without restraints. We could go do our thing. There wasn't a set time cut off. Coaches aren't in our ears telling, you know what I mean? Like we could just do
So
our
you have
stuff.
more
There
fun.
was less restrictions.
Interesting. Would that stuff happen? Would that
What
happen
was your
like after the
hardest
taping, or is that just there are some shows that are not televised and there would be a full-on televised show?
On the old schedule, and it's different now, but we would do house shows, non-televised house shows. If you were on Monday Night Raw, they would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days with a pay-per-view once a month on Sunday usually, and then TV was Monday, the last day. So it's 4 days straight, different city every day. So the house shows, you almost like looked at them like practice a little bit.
Wow.
So you could
That's
try
interesting.
out some stuff for TV on Monday if you were even in a position to replicate it
Wow.
or redo it, whatever.
Mojo, what was your
I didn't even know they had those before you told me that.
They don't really do much anymore.
Really? They don't have as many. What are you guys? What are you doing?
Should we get it over with?
What?
My least favorite segment.
What are you
of
getting?
it.
Oh,
The second decision.
what are we doing? Oh, LeBron. Yeah, let's do LeBron.
LeBron.
Let's do LeBron
LeBron's
James.
going to wrestling.
LeBron.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Do you know about this, Lucas?
Appreciate the
Know about
action
it?
figure love, guys.
We love these action figures, Mojo.
It's also like a fidget spinner for me.
It is. It is like keeps your hands busy.
Oh, we need a polo.
Yeah, but if anyone who has wrestling questions, let us know so Mojo can answer them. Okay, so
This is when we start the paid subscription model
right,
for.
yeah. Give you all the juice and the dirt and whatever you want.
Branson's going to be the one chiming off the most.
Okay, so he's entering his 23rd season.
Sure is.
Is there any video?
No, it's just
It's like
B-roll.
a teaser.
It's just B-roll.
Okay.
You could do it. You could read his caption,
Second decision.
which is that what you see right here.
The decision of all decisions. Okay, so the second decision. So LeBron James is teasing a decision.
Exactly what, and then just dive into what he means.
Decisions
Okay.
when I want it all.
And we'll just, whoever wants to chime in here can.
We have some time, so
Okay.
like 3.5 with a goodbye.
Okay. Cool. You want to stand here? You want to?
Oh, we going both guys together? Oh.
Yep.
All right, here we go. It's movement.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. You all ready for the decision part 2? Yeah, give you flashbacks to 2010 because LeBron James has teased a big announcement that is coming tomorrow. Yep, Lucas, and I know this is going to give you flashbacks to memories that you do not want to think of because when the original decision happened in, again, July of 2010, July 8, 2010, of course, LeBron James announced that he was leaving his hometown team of the Cleveland Cavaliers and was going, and he was taking his talents, as he said, to South Beach. And you remember all of the fallout. Well, today, LeBron James goes to his social media, and here is how he teased the second decision, as he called it. The decision of all decisions, October 7th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, hashtag the second decision. So I don't know, Lucas, if you've got any thoughts, feelings, guesses for what this could be. We're just, days away from the NBA season starting. He is on the Lakers. He's entering his 23rd season. What is he doing? What's he teasing?
I have a feeling that he would not have gone through Lakers Media Day if his Lakers status was in jeopardy at all here.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this were an ad or some kind of endorsement.
That's what I
and
think.
He's teasing another Amazon partnership.
Yeah.
Or someone commented underneath his post, oh, is this a Chipotle ad? And he's choosing between chicken and steak. The thing is, LeBron has learned from his first decision. He says that was not a smart move on my part, and if I could take it back, I would.
Yeah.
I would have just signed with the Heat and gone about my life.
Yes.
It's funny, just even thinking about the decision, I go back to that 2010 day. I was with my best friend, Talon Floor, rest in peace, and he was a massive Miami Heat fan. And so one of us was really happy, and one of us was bawling our eyes out around the city of Sandusky.
Oh,
and,
no. You know, Mojo, and you remember back to that time. I mean, LeBron was a villain for years after that. That's how hated that decision was. And the people of Cleveland felt like, how could you do this to us in that way?
We felt betrayed,
right.
hated.
It wasn't that he left, not only that he left, right? It was the way to have
the way
show.
he did it. It was a smack in the face, and then he joins the super team, and on his way out, he just takes that villain role and runs with it. I mean, that was the guy that we adored for so many years, and then to do that to us, it was heartbreaking. But of course, 4 years later, he came back and made everything all right again.
Mojo, what do you think?
Absolute heel turn.
You think, Mojo? You think is this a major basketball announcement or decision? Like, hey, I'm retiring next year, or this is my last year. I'm going to play with the Lakers, or is this something like Lucas said? It's some sort of paid partnership.
This is going to be him announcing his LeBron Loops cereal line, or a sneaker, or a TV show, a podcast with his son. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be something that he's making money for. I mean, outside of that, what else could this be, right? I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't think this is going to be sport related. We're too far in at this point to be doing this. This is definitely going to be something. He's capitalizing on all the hype of the last one. But I just think the timing maybe isn't where he needs it to be for whatever he's about to announce. It's probably not going to be fun, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I will say,
it's going to be awesome for him. He's going to be richer than he already is, for sure.
It could become a full circle moment where he goes, yes, the decision was a bad idea, but let me bring it all back full circle, and this is me announcing this will be my last dance.
Yeah.
It could very well be the case. I do believe he is the guy who would want a farewell tour.
Oh, yeah.
Every city that he visits, he would want that gift, the rocking chair, whatever it be. I do feel like LeBron would not announce his retirement until, or after his.
Yeah,
he would not announce his retirement after his final season.
Well, LeBron wants to be told everywhere he goes that he's the greatest. We know that's something he cares about. So, yeah, I would not be shocked if that's what it is. The beauty is that it's tomorrow morning, so at noon we're going to know. We come back here and we'll have a lot to discuss tomorrow. What is the decision? And Monday Night Football, a bunch of other things to talk about. Have a great night. We'll see you then.
He's pissing the Laker
Nation
off.
Yeah, we'll see. It could be
He's
maybe
pissing Laker Nation off.
Yeah.
The top comment on his post was, it's going to be an ad for Chipotle, and he's deciding between chicken or beef.
Did you really just say that, Connor? Because I said that maybe 2 minutes ago.
Oh, well,
Connor was preparing while we were talking.
I was preparing.
He's producing over here.
In all
First time doing this, give me some slack.
No, I think you did.
He's making this about him, man.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when he does this, and this is why he's really, to me, he's not a Laker.
Yeah, and Keith is a huge Laker.
Okay. I'm a Laker. He's not.
That's fine, Keith.
No, it's just.
I do think he's going to announce this.
Because you're spoiled.
You think so?
You do realize it's because you're spoiled. You have had
no,
nothing but legends your entire life.
No, that's not the case.
Can you name a moment where you guys did not have a Hall of Famer on a Lakers roster?
We're greatness. That's the difference. We're royalty. You got to understand. The logo is a Laker.
LA Clippers organization.
The logo is a Laker. Right?
Yeah,
the
we got a
logo's Laker,
Clippers
right?
fan
We're
here
greatness.
and a Knicks fan.
Don't
We
mess
haven't
up
won
greatness.
anything ever.
But no,
Well,
seriously, like this is the year that we're trying to get a championship. And this is supposed to be the year, and then he takes it off. You know, he's got all upset because Luka's now the guy.
Okay.
Well, they're not
And
going
now
to
he's-
win
Whose team is this?
This is Luka's team.
Is Luka's team?
This is Luka's team.
This is
It's not
23rd
LeBron's
year.
team.
That would make sense if this was his last year, though, right?
Yes.
No one's ever played 23.
Does he wait?
Yeah.
Does he wear 23 now or 6?
Yes.
That's what he wears, 23. It makes sense.
This is going to be his last year.
I think it wouldn't shock me. I think Lucas made a really good point with the farewell tour stuff. Some guys don't want that.
No.
Steve, wasn't it Derek Jeter who did not announce that he was not retiring until late in the year because I think he didn't want people to
What a
do
great
the whole
guy.
affair.
What a great guy Derek Jeter
That shows
was,
the
yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
Well,
he
it
doesn't
shows
want
your bias.
He doesn't
Is
want
what
it shows.
to. He doesn't want the worst farewell tour you ever seen is Paul Pierce. Remember? Paul Pierce tried to do his work. And Draymond Green came and said, "You're not on that status." Like,
you're not on that level to have that
Oh,
farewell
that hurt.
tour. So
no,
Yeah.
but he deserves. I'll say this. He deserves a tour.
Yeah.
He definitely does. In terms of basketball, he's one of the best.
He's the
ever.
best player in NBA history.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
He should absolutely
Yeah.
have it too. I
He
mean, that's money for
absolutely
every team.
deserves
That's
that.
money for the
Oh,
other
yeah.
team.
When
And
it
all
is
the
over,
teams-
it's going to
all
be
the
a
teams
very
want it.
sad day.
guys, we have got to go. We'll have a lot to talk about.